Well, hello, Jamila. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Erika. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you and to talk about your incredible growth, which is phenomenal, and to just dig into some of your insights into being relatively new on the platform, but seeing so much success. So why don't you share with everybody your fast road on YouTube? In a nutshell. And then we'll dig into it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I started YouTube accidentally. It wasn't meant to be a big platform for I wasn't aspiring to be a YouTuber or anything. So it did happen a little bit prior to pandemic because of the circumstances of the format of the classes I was teaching before. So I had to film them and make them available for my online classes, which is how the whole YouTube platform emerged. And then it just, I don't know, there was one video that really made it viral, and that's the video that brought the entire channel up. So I think that's the most important takeaway lesson for anyone listening right now, is that you need to really just produce one really good video that can help, bring your channel the attention that it needs to have in order to grow.
And what would you say your channel niche is?
I would say it's very particular. It's about etiquette and soft skills and development and self-development. But there are a lot of channels on education. I watch some of them. Mostly are run by guys, which is very interesting. It's something that I have observed prior to joining YouTube, that a lot of the book reviews and a lot of educational channels are run by guys, and mostly about lifestyle and fashion is by girls. So I kind of brought into this channel where it's education and lifestyle and etiquette and development and all of that in just one channel umbrella. So it's primarily an educative channel, but has aspects of lifestyle and things like that. My niche, I would say, is probably just people that are into self-development and growth, mental, emotional, manners, everything. So I thought in the beginning it's going to be very particular, but based on what I see from my audience, it's very wide range nowadays. A lot of people are really getting interested in that.
Is your audience mainly women?
Mainly women, yes. 80% is women, but I think the rest 20% are men, which is also good for a channel that's primarily mostly very feminine and all that elegance. So it's interesting that men also watch. And it's funny how a lot of men are asking me to do videos for men as well. And they actually complain that there aren't any male versions of this kind of a channel that they could look up to and learn things from. So it's a niche that could be filled by a man out there.
Yeah, definitely. And how many subscribers do you have now?
I think it's like 670,000.
So and yeah,
close to 700,000. Yeah.
And when exactly did you start your channel?
I think it was like November of 2019 or March of 2019. I don't remember.
Okay. Okay. And so let's go back to that one video that just blew your channel up. How soon upon starting your channel did you create that video? And tell us about that video. What was the video about? And what happened when you uploaded it? Did it immediately take off, or did it take some time?
It took some time, and actually, it's a funny story. I always like to tell this story to prove a point that you have to follow your instincts and your intuition when you're doing something from your heart, and don't get swayed by what other people are telling you. So this video, I think, was like the fourth video that I uploaded. I had one on afternoon tea etiquette, 2 other videos on body language, and this was like the third or the fifth video. I can't remember exactly now. But when I was trying to film this video, my videographer at that point weren't really close, but he saw me do all the other videos, and he saw, the channel wasn't growing, no one was really watching. And he told me, like, no one cares about etiquette. Like, why don't you do something about, your makeup or your skincare routine? That will definitely be watched. No one wants to watch this etiquette etiquette videos. And I was like, it actually got me. I got a little bit offended. I said, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I really love. And I truly do believe that people would love to watch this, except there isn't that much of a content, or the ones that are out there on YouTube, they're taught by much elder generation, and a lot of younger ones can't really relate to that. So there isn't anyone from their own generation teaching them all of this and saying that it's still relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So I was offended, but I was like, you know what, that's what you think, but I think I should do this. So went ahead and filmed it, and I uploaded it. I think it took about like 3-4 months for it to really start picking attention. A lot of people were making a lot of fun of the video, so most of them were actually trolling this and saying, you know, I will definitely need these manners at McDonald's. I can't wait to practice this at KFC. And a lot of also, I got a lot of hateful messages about my weight and why I looked a certain way. But I actually kind of, through that video, I developed a thicker skin. I just left the comments there unless they were really hurtful. And people would just come to the video because they wanted to say something funny or sometimes nasty, to make fun and kind of join the crowd. But that's the video that actually got the attention. Maybe not always the positive attention, but definitely did catch people's attention. And then it brought the millions to my channel. I mean, it brought million views. And then from those views, people started subscribing to the channel.
How many, what was the video specifically about? You said table etiquette?
It's called Dining Etiquette 101, Table Manners. It's actually, it was, I think, a well filmed video. I think it's the one of the where very few videos on YouTube where you actually get to see the whole process of sitting down and, you know, table manners in practice, not just one aspect, not just dessert or the main course, but the whole meal. And we try to keep it to the basics, so it covers all the basic aspects that you need to know if you're, you know, going on a date or going on to important business lunch or dinner. You can watch the video and be prepared. So it's a good tutorial kind of a video.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And I really agree about the idea of like sticking with your intuition. And besides, you're so early in your YouTube career. Like, I mean, that's like 3-4 videos. You don't really know if somebody's going to work out that early at all.
You don't. And also, Erika, it's interesting. And I the more I do videos, the more I realize the videos I do from my heart, like on spot, you know, come up with an idea, call my videographer, say, let's do the shooting tomorrow. I have this crazy idea. Those videos are the ones that get the most views and the most interest. And the ones that people actually ask me to shoot, like, can you please show me your sunglasses? Can you do dresses?
Nobody watches.
Nobody watches.
Yeah,
it's something that they really wanted and like kept on asking me, and I did it, but it wasn't really what I intended to do. But I always listen to the feedback. I read all the comments myself. I take down notes on the suggestions, but it's never the videos they suggest themselves. It's so interesting. I don't know how that works, but the ones that I come up with, they watch.
I mean, I'm a huge believer in really listening to your intuition as a creative, because that is where the magic happens, you know, and that's where you have innovation. That's where you have very unique ideas because it's based upon your own knowledge and interest and passion. And when you align your passion with what you're doing on YouTube, it shows through on camera, it shows through your charisma and magnetism. And that's such a that makes such a difference in being watchable and people wanting to watch you for the entire length of the video.
Absolutely. It's the genuineness. It's how passionate you feel about what you're showing when it's truly from your heart. And also I realized that, you know, when I'm feeling very down and I'm forcing myself to shoot something because it's scheduled time and I have to do it, a lot of the people that are not in this content creating think that it's, you know, it's just easy work all the time. But, you know, you have a schedule, you need to deliver, and sometimes you're not in the mood to shoot and it's a long process. Every time that I forced myself to shoot, some viewers would really feel that I wasn't at my best. Like they would be like, take care of yourself, you know, you don't look like you're doing well. And it was when I wasn't emotionally or physically really feeling well, because I was so exhausted from everything that was going on. And I made a promise that I will shoot whenever I feel really energetic, so that my energy can transfer to the viewer and they can feel that I'm upbeat and happy and everything. Because you really can't fool the viewer. They will feel it even miles and miles away. And no one wants to watch someone who's like dreading while doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah. And I think it's such a point that's often forgotten. I call it OCET, or on camera energy transfer. And people don't really grasp that, how important it is. And they'll just kind of, after a long day, just, all right, I got to film. And it should be something you do with a lot of joy and excitement. And if you're not there, it's like, get yourself there. Because I know for a lot of people, it's like, well, this is it. This is my filming room window. I don't have any other time. It's like, okay, well, then do what you need to do in that moment to get yourself excited and enthusiastic. So It's
Absolutely.
yeah, it's huge.
And my trick is what I do, and I think I mean, I would share this so that people that are starting, maybe they would do it too. So whenever I feel like I'm, upbeat and everything, so I do prepare my videos, like the idea and drafting, way in advance. So I have a couple of, the topics that I want to cover, and then if there's a particular day when I feel super upbeat, like really really happy and really high energy, I will shoot 2 3 videos at once, because I'm at this, state. And then I'll just have those 3 videos, planned out, and then I'll release them. So I try to, I mean, it's exhausting at the end of the day. You are exhausted, but at that moment, on that particular day, you feel so high and so energetic that it really transfers to the audience, and they really like it because they also get energized from watching you.
Yeah, they do. They do. And so I noticed that you mentioned that you have a videographer. Did you have this videographer when you launched your channel? Did you have that help right away? And what was your decision making behind hiring somebody for that?
So he's not exclusively working just with me. So he has his own job, and I had my own job at the time. I mean, I still do, but I'm working out just primarily for myself, doing private workshops and working privately with clients. But before, I used to teach at university and school. So YouTube was just a thing I did, like on a side, on a weekend. We would meet up, shoot, and that's it. Part our ways. He would do his own work, I'll do my own work. So he's not really working just for me. We turned into really family now, because he's the only person I can feel comfortable around filming. And it's something you really need to feel that way, because, a lot of things happen behind camera.
Mhm.
And I'm not really good with technology. I really don't know how to make things work.
Yeah.
So he does all the magic behind, like his shoots, and his sister does the editing. And so it's a family business, I call it.
Mhm.
And I'm the one that, does the creative part. I draft the text. So it's just the 3 of us working together. And so far it has been working really well, because neither of us are compromising on our main job, but we still have this like sort of side hustle that we do.
So would you say YouTube is still your side hustle
It is my
at
side.
600 something thousand subscribers?
It is. It is. It's not my main job, because I'm also an author. I have written 2 books. So they're here on sale here in Azerbaijan. I sell them internationally. I do a lot of work offline and online, with clients and private clients. I travel to teach them. So that's my main job. So it's being an educator and being an
Mhm.
author. But this YouTube thing is, I don't release that many videos, Erika, to be honest. I do only 2 videos per month. So for a
Mm.
channel with this many viewers, it only has like 70 something videos, which is not that
Mhm.
much,
Yeah.
compared to other content creators. But I'm always going for quality rather than quantity, because I realize that people will like it's now. I think now that YouTube works as a movie theater. If one of your videos really is great and people start watching it, it doesn't mean that the whole channel will start growing. I mean, it does bring awareness, but it doesn't bring, I guess, viewership to every video. So if you do one really good video, it hits its million, yes, your channel will be recognized, but it doesn't mean that the rest of your videos are going to get the same amount of views. And if you're only about thinking about monetization, then it's the view count that counts more than your subscriber count.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So does your YouTube channel help with your main business? Because I would imagine, like, based on what you're saying, like being an author or working with
Mhm.
clients, I would imagine having this much exposure to you would help build that business.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would be lying if I said it didn't. And in a way, I mean, because I was teaching for so long, I had my clients prior to everything, prior to YouTube, but I was sort of a person that people public didn't know, only private clients knew of. So it will be just word of mouth. One client liked the workshop, they would suggest another one. So I would still be working, but YouTube definitely brought awareness to my books. It brought bigger attention to my persona, to my
Mhm.
brand in
Mhm.
general. So it did help me a lot and open doors to a lot of opportunities. There's so many requests for collaborations and so many requests for, business ideas and projects. So definitely, it did help a lot.
Was that your intention in starting a YouTube channel?
No, I didn't think at first. I didn't even think of becoming a YouTuber. It was just videos uploaded on a topic. I would send the link to class. They would watch it because it was already in pandemic
Mhm.
2020. I would send them the link. They watch it at home. Then during the class, we would discuss things that they saw in the video because I couldn't like do it in practice at home with them on their Zoom and me on my Zoom. I did with some private clients. I would have everything laid out and tell them what to prepare, but it was so much work for both of us. So then I realized it's just better to send them a video, show them a demo, then discuss if they had any questions or things like that. But it's really that video, the dining etiquette, that we shot like against the will of my videographer, that really made the channel grow and actually made me become monetized. I wouldn't think I would probably, maybe if I didn't hit that number and we didn't become monetized, maybe I would quit, to be honest, because now we're back to normal and I would just do what I was doing before. But because it got so much attention, I thought of continuing doing the work on YouTube as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I want to go back to the idea of the videographer. I really like the idea that even when you were brand new and just starting off, you hired a videographer, because a lot of people, they have the idea of, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait until I'm making money to invest money into my channel. And that time might never come if you're not that good at making videos, you know? And so I think it takes a lot of, I think, confidence in yourself and foresight to see, I'm going to invest in something that is not generating me an income, but knowing that, having a self-awareness that, like you said, you're not very good at tech, you know what you're good at, you know what you're not, and willing to put kind of your money where your mouth is and investing in that. What was going on with you at that time when you hired someone? What? Yeah.
I just want to be really honest, because I think it's so easy to say, oh, just go with your passion. The passion always pays off. Like, all those things are great, but if you have a mouth to feed and you have bills to pay, no one is going to care about your, you can't care just about your passion. Because I was working at university and school, because I was already an author, my books were selling, so I was already making money, and me paying a videographer was just a little bit of my income that I had to put aside and pay for him to produce a video. And we only do 2 videos per month, which means it wasn't that much of an expense. And also because this was also his side job, it was like his side hustle, so it wasn't his main job. I didn't hire him to work for me. So it was win-win for both. Extra money for him and extra money, sort of like pocket money that I could allocate to myself or buy something for myself. I invested into the videos. But to be honest, if I wasn't going to get paid from YouTube, I might have quit, because it would mean I'm taking away from my budget but not seeing anything in return. But because I already saw that it's actually making double or triple the amount of money I was investing, I thought, why not, and I kept on doing it. But if now, when you were saying this, if someone wants to start and they really don't know where, and they are not good with technology like myself, my advice would be to do a barter with someone who's a videographer and say, listen, let's do a channel together. You shoot me, I do the content. As soon as we start getting monetized, we start splitting bill, we will, whatever income we make, we will like split between the two of us. This much is how much you get, this much. And maybe that would be the way to collaborate, 2 new starters. One is creative side, one is technical side. It's something you can agree with, your friend or someone you find online. There's so many freelancers now willing to do the work. So you can find a way around it if you really truly are passionate about it. But it would be a lie to say, just go for it, do it with your passion, like spend all the money that you have, no matter what. It might never work, and you will lose money, and it's difficult to recover afterwards.
Yeah, but I do think that, like what you said, you already having a job and bringing in income somewhere else makes it a little bit more of a possibility. And that's why I always tell people, like, don't quit your job and start a YouTube channel. Like, you want to have YouTube as a side hustle. You don't necessarily want to think of it as a hobby. You want to think of it as something you're really serious about. But that, having another income source allows you to invest without, like you said, taking the food away from your family, or what, from your necessities.
Exactly. It would be a dream world to say, just put all your money into, that, and just try yourself. I always say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Even now, being monetized on YouTube, I don't only rely on YouTube as an income stream, because I've seen what has happened to our neighbors. So YouTube was closed there, and people that were only solely making money from YouTube have actually lost everything or are not able to make the money on YouTube.
What are you talking about? Your
About
neighbor?
and the neighbors being,
Oh, about Russia.
yeah, them being sanctioned. There are so many YouTubers in Russia that nowadays can't monetize anymore, neither on YouTube nor TikTok, nor other, like not
Oh,
Instagram.
because they got rid of all social platforms over there.
They're sanctioned, so they can't use it, and they can't obviously get monetized. So
Wow.
imagine you invest so much money, you create a channel, you've been making all the money that you've been making for the last 10 years, and then one day they say no more. So
That's crazy.
I'm still a very old school person. I like to have like a like a typical job, so that I know that, I always have income streams from different sources, and I wouldn't just only rely on one source, especially if it's just social media platform, because it can get closed, it can be sanctioned, it can be banned for whatever reason. So I don't
Yeah.
want to just rely on that.
Share with the audience where you're based out of, so it makes sense context wise.
Yeah, context wise, yeah, I know
Yeah.
I'm saying this, but I'm from Azerbaijan, so it's close to it's neighboring Iran, Turkey, Russia, Caspian Sea. It's a small country, but a very beautiful one. I invite everyone to come visit Azerbaijan always. I was born and raised here, and then I went to university in the United States, and then I did my master's in Belgium, and then I came back to Azerbaijan and started working here. So that was my
Wow.
journey. Yeah.
Wow. And I think you make a really good point about, what's happening with Russia and social media personalities over there. Because yeah, imagine working 10 years or, years of your life and poof, right?
Gone.
It being taken from you. And so I do believe that the social platforms are here and they're here to stay for the most part. But how do
Mhm.
you know something, whether it's the niche you're in? And I know this happened with the kids channels like several
Mhm.
years ago, when
Mhm.
they got rid of all the comments there, and there was a lot of things happening with children's channels, right? And
Mhm.
so, I mean, when you don't own the platform itself, you're basically renting space on there. It's you are leaving everything in some ways to chance. Like, do I think YouTube is gonna shut down here in the US? No, but you just never know, right? You never know. The people in Russia expect that to happen? You just
Yeah.
never know. And
You
so,
never.
yeah, and I think what you're doing, which is being on YouTube and growing an audience, but leveraging that audience for other areas in your business is really smart, because if YouTube does go away, you still have these other businesses.
I actually do think that a lot of the YouTubers I like, a lot of the inspirational story I see, like Huda Beauty, she also started on YouTube, and how
Hmm.
she developed her just,
Yeah.
beauty channel into makeup industry and this big thing. And there's I think there are a lot of like makeup artists that started on YouTube and then really built their whole beauty
Hmm.
empire. And I think YouTube is such an amazing platform that allows content creators to build their brand out of, just the videos.
Yeah.
So I personally love YouTube, and I can't emphasize enough what an amazing platform it is to content creators in general. But I think just any other social media or any online platform, anything can happen any day. So I wouldn't ever completely 100% rely on just one social media platform to have my income from. I would start working on something else, merchandise, I don't know, clothing line, books, whatever it is that you're into or educating or doing. So you actually then have something else to kind of have income from, and then you'll navigate it better that way, I
Hmm.
think.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think like, oh, diversify, they hear that and they think, oh, get onto a bunch of different platforms. Whereas like if for somebody that's just beginning, I don't know what your thought is on this, Jamila, but for someone that's just beginning, I don't recommend that. I usually say pick one platform that you feel like really
Same.
good about and connected to, and really focus on that and put all your energy towards that. And what you're talking about more about diversifying is having different ways of generating an income, right? So
Exactly.
it's not just AdSense. Maybe it's not just affiliates, or it is, AdSense, affiliates, brand deals, but
Yeah.
then it's
Hmm.
creating your own services, your own products, something
Hmm.
that you can sell
Uh-huh.
in addition to that. I think that's the way to go for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you 100%, Erika, that I wouldn't diversify in terms of social media platforms. I was recommended by everyone who has been watching my YouTube, get into TikTok, get into TikTok. At one point, it got into me. I was like, okay, I will, but I don't want to do it myself. I found someone online that would take my videos, chop into little like
Mm-hmm.
videos for TikTok, and they released it. And really, my TikTok hasn't gone past, I think, 1,000
Yeah.
subscribers because I'm not investing any energy into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my platform. I don't like that kind of a quick information
Yeah.
flow.
I
I
know. Me
don't I
neither.
don't sit on TikTok myself. My
Same.
platform is YouTube. I love watching YouTube. I watch it myself. I've been watching it all the time for how to clean, how to do makeup, how to do everything. So for me, it's a channel that speaks to my heart, and that's the channel I feel comfortable sharing information at. And that's where I found my audience is also in. So I agree with you. Stick to one platform that speaks to your heart, that is your kind of a personality. So then it's genuine to you. But then once you are successful on it, make sure that you can diversify not just to different platforms, but just diversify in terms of what you produce. But it definitely is probably has to be kind of related to what you're doing. So if you're into gardening, maybe some gardening tools, whatever you're doing, but just doing your own product is important.
Yeah, I mean something that your audience will be excited about, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, like you said, yeah, if you have a gardening channel, it doesn't make sense to like sell, I don't know, random, I don't know,
Yeah. Makeup.
supplements or something. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I want to touch on really briefly the idea that, and I know you mentioned this in your form that you filled out prior to the interview, the fact that you had decided to create an English channel, considering that you speak how many languages?
I speak 7 languages.
7 languages, which is wow. That's what are the languages? I'm sure everyone would be
So
curious.
I speak Azerbaijani, which is my native language, Turkish, which is very close to Azerbaijani. I speak Russian because we were part of Soviet Union prior. I speak English, well, obviously. I speak French, Spanish, and I do speak German, but on a very like intermediate level. I understand it better than I speak. I used to speak it really well, and I'm currently learning Arabic, but it's really going slow. But I am really trying. So
Just
yeah, I
this
speak
has
a lot.
nothing to do with YouTube. I'm super curious. I've always wished I could speak a ton of languages. So, did you, as a young child, were exposed to a lot of these languages, or did you continue to learn them, throughout your adult life?
Always, I'm still learning them. I never stopped a single day learning any of those languages. And I tell it to everyone who's learning language that there's no end date. Like by this date, I speak this language. I am still listening, watching videos, watching movies, reading books, speaking to my friends. And every time I pick up new words, and it's ongoing process all the time for me. Because I also grew up in Azerbaijan, a lot of people here are bilingual or
Hmm.
trilingual. So most of them speak Turkish, Azerbaijani, Russian, and nowadays the younger generation, pretty much everyone speaks English. So it's normal to find a person in Azerbaijan that speaks 3, 4 languages, like pretty much everyone. And then to add like Spanish and French is something I learned as a child, and I kept on learning in university as well. And it helped that I studied in US and Belgium. I
Yeah.
made a lot of international friends, so I spoke those languages all the time. Yeah, and that's how it works.
Wow. Are you
Um,
able to read and write in all those languages as well?
Yeah, I read, write. I did my master's in French, so French and English.
Wow.
I did in the university, I did Spanish, so as an international language that I had to take, like a foreign language.
Yeah.
So I speak or write. I yeah, do everything.
Wow, I think it's such great training for the mind. I was a Spanish minor in college,
Mm,
and I lived like I had a scholarship where I lived in Mexico for a summer and stuff like that. So I mean I think
awesome.
languages is so cool. So going back to YouTube,
Mhm.
what made you decide to create your channel in English?
Easy. I was educated all my life in English. Well, all my life. Since middle school, I went to an English speaking school, so a British school. And then I went to university in the United States. So I did all my actual practical studies in English. I did my master's in English and
Hmm.
French. So this was my language of education.
Mm.
I know it's hard to explain, but like I speak better, like in terms of educational things, I speak better in English than I speak in Azerbaijani or Russian because I was educated in this language. So it wasn't really me like trying to garner international audience. It was just the language I speak for educational purposes. And I've been teaching
Mm-hmm.
always all my life in English, in university as well as in international school and with international clients. So English was just there all the time in my life. But also, having started this in English, I realized that I've allowed myself to have a broader audience than I would if I just did it
Mm-hmm.
in Russian or Azerbaijani. I would just, have a very small, specific audience that would listen to my channel. But now it's the whole world, and English is the most spoken language. So, well, no,
Yeah.
it's Chinese.
Oh, yeah,
But
I
yeah,
don't know, but I know it's definitely a very popular language in the world.
yeah,
I mean,
in
your
the world.
English is really, really good, and you have such a beautiful accent with it.
Thank
I
you.
could see how people would love to watch that. And what do you find your audience breakdown is as far as geography?
Very, very like unusually, and like I don't know it's different. I don't know how it is in other countries, but it's number one is the U.S.,
What
which is
percentage?
I want to say 20 something,
Oh, wow, okay.
or 25 something, 27. Then it's India. India is a big
Oh,
audience. Yeah,
interesting.
interesting. Then it is there. I don't remember like exactly now who goes after whom, but it's Canada,
Hmm.
UK, Philippines.
Hmm.
And sometimes when I do like the last 28 days, it's Brazil that joins the list. It's like
Hmm.
top five geographies. Yeah. Canada, UK goes back and forth. Like it's
Yeah.
either Canada or UK, Brazil, India, US, and Philippines.
Wow. So
Very,
interesting.
very diverse.
Yeah, very, very broad. One last question before we get into the last part of the interview. I find it really interesting that you've made the decision to only upload 2 videos a month. Was that a conscious decision from the beginning? And have there ever been times in your YouTube career that you've uploaded more than that? Or have you been pretty consistent with only 2 videos a month?
Be like once when I was super excited about releasing a video, I was like, let me do it. Like, sorry, this wasn't planned, but this is the video. But
Hmm.
usually it's 2 videos per month because that's what I can physically make. Like, because again, of all the other job that I have. So this is a side hustle for me, as I already mentioned. So yes, I do only 2 videos per month, but also because whenever I prepare a video, it's not just me, putting a camera and just talking, but not talking. I think what I'm going to be wearing. I know what the setting should be like.
Hmm.
I get the flowers in advance. I buy new flowers, make sure that everything is fitting my flower, my dress. So there's a lot of thinking going on into that.
Mm.
And when we film, I want to make sure that it's well quality of camera and good setting, good shooting. So I am always all about quality rather than quantity. And I said
Hmm.
before, I realized this with my own YouTube channel that even if you upload every day, it doesn't mean that you're going to get your increased video count or view count or subscriber count. It takes one really good video that really starts bringing the attention to the channel. So I
Yeah.
would aim for quality always, especially now given the algorithm of YouTube. It does favor good quality video over just more videos.
I agree. With YouTube, especially, it's quality for sure. I love how you talked about how, like, you put it, there's a lot of thought into what you're wearing and the backdrop and the flowers. I mean, I do think a lot of that makes a big difference
Mhm.
for people, a lot. And what
Mhm.
are other aspects of quality that you focus on?
So I was told when I just started YouTube that the most important thing in YouTube is good quality sound. That's like number one thing.
Hmm.
Even if the visuals are nice, if the voice is not nice in terms of like background noise and microphone, people will not be able to watch it.
Yeah.
So, you could have whatever picture or background drop, whatever. If the sound is good, they'll keep on listening at least to what
Hmm.
you're saying. So number one, I was told that the most important thing is good sound. And then afterwards comes visuals and then the value that you bring. That's what really struck me. It was like, yes, I do watch videos that bring value to me. There's something I learn from them. If your video is just about la 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 la, people will start, they'll exit it in like 2 3 minutes.
Hmm.
And I also don't, well, for me personally, I don't tire my videos by having a really long introduction in terms of like, in this video, you're going to see something super exciting. And
Yeah.
by the time I get to the point, it's really
They're
like a
gone.
lot. They're gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do a regular introduction about who I am to new viewers and what books I have. And then I get straight to the video. I don't want to bore the viewers by being like, let me tell you in this video. I just get straight to whatever I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think that's so important with the intro. It's just jumping right into the video. Okay,
Exactly.
now we're in the last part of the interview. This is where I ask you just rapid fire questions and you
Mhm.
respond. The
Okay.
first question is, what is your number one struggle with YouTube?
Number one struggle with YouTube. I I don't know. I guess I don't have one. It's so weird, but I don't think I have struggled with YouTube ever. The only thing is sometimes the music that I have purchased sometimes is blocked and they say I need to get access and I have access. So sometimes the like extra noise in the background that is, there's like the audio thing, but never really struggled, just had some issues before. Yeah.
Got it. What if you were to start over right now? What, if anything, would you do differently?
Um, mm, Maybe like cleaner thumbnails, like
Hmm.
more catchy thumbnails. I didn't really care about thumbnails. I was like, if the video is interesting, why not? But now I understand that thumbnails are important. If they catch the first attention and if they're catchy, you will get the clickbait. People will
Hmm.
click on the video.
Do you
Mhm.
make your own thumbnails?
Again, the guy does for
Oh,
me.
he does it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he does it. Yeah, he
Wow, he
does the
does everything.
thumbnail. Yeah, he does everything. He shoots,
Hmm.
he does the thumbnail, he does the editing. So he does all the technical part, and I just do all the creative part.
Yeah, the fun. I think that's all the fun stuff, the creative stuff, being in front
Yeah,
of the camera and all that.
exactly.
But some people love the technical. For them, the fun part is the editing and the filming, right? And the
Exactly.
thought of getting in front of a camera is like, oh God, don't do. I would
Exactly.
never
He
do
says,
that.
I would never want to be in your place. He's like, I
Yeah,
enjoy behind the camera. Yeah,
yeah. So there's something for everyone, which is great.
exactly.
What is your favorite video you've created on your YouTube channel?
I think obviously my favorite one is probably the dining etiquette one that really made it very successful. I'm very thankful to that video for changing my life. I think the Boardman videos are nice where I'm talking about how to walk, how to stand properly. And my personal favorite one is the latest one that I released with my reaction video to Hailey Bieber eating French food.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
and that's actually one of my latest videos that is coming closer. It's like in 2 months, it has gathered around 300,000 views. So for 2 months, it's quite a big number. And I'm hoping that it's going to get a million like
Yeah, it's
over
gonna
time.
surpass your
Yeah,
other
it's going to
videos.
surpass, yeah, the other
Hmm.
videos. Yeah.
Um, what is your number one tip for preserving your mental health as a creator?
Oh, I have learned about myself so much about having double dimple chin, about having a huge forehead. Why is that my
Welcome to
hairline?
the huge forehead club. Yeah.
I
Yep.
know.
You and me
And
both.
I posted a picture of me being a child and I said rocking huge forehead since
Yeah.
1991.
Yeah.
Like what can I do? I can't change my forehead. And actually it's a sign of wisdom and
Oh, good.
intelligence. So
Good.
good. And then there's like so many questions about my hairline. Why am I so skinny? I don't know, so many things like why are my limbs so fragile? I mean, I've heard so much about myself that I didn't really realize I had all of that.
Hmm.
So if you are not really confident and you have body issues or things like that, you will get hurt because
Hmm.
people can say really nasty things. My way of dealing with it is just deleting the comments that really make me upset so that I don't have to see them. I hide the user from the channel so he doesn't get to see me and be hateful about me.
Hmm.
That's the only way I can deal with it. It's like almost if you don't like someone in person, just don't talk to that person. So if I don't like someone that writes something nasty, just block the person or hide the user from the channel
Yeah.
so they don't get to abuse you all the time or harass you or say really bad things. And also in YouTube, you can actually like put words that you don't want. Like if people
Hmm.
comment that, then it's like hidden. So I've included a lot of words that I wouldn't want to see on my channel.
Yeah, I think that's smart. This is your house, right? You got to protect
Exactly.
it. So,
Exactly, exactly.
mhm.
And I also don't understand why people are so sensitive these days with being blocked. They would like write, "Why did you block me?" And it's like, okay, if this was a live interaction, if I didn't want to talk to you, I would just walk away. And you wouldn't be running after me saying, "Why did you walk away? Come,
Yeah.
come, stand here." Same thing is online presence. I read what you write. I know you're here to tell me something nasty. Why would I have you in my little bubble of online presence when you're being so nasty to me? I will just not have you there.
Yeah.
So that's my personal attitude. Whatever is about your mental health, don't be scared to be offending others if they're offending you and they're fine with that. So just clean
Yeah.
all those people.
Yeah, because if you don't preserve your mental health and you don't really, take care of it, you're going to quit. And then
Yeah,
ultimately who suffers? You suffer as a creator, but also the people that really like you and really love your content and that
hmm,
are kind and sweet and nice in the comments, all those people suffer, the ones that you're helping. And because of some
exactly.
nasty trolls that you like get in your mind.
Exactly. And somehow, I don't know, I guess it's a human nature. We really like, I can read
Focus on the
10,
negative. Mhm.
always. I can read 10 beautiful comments back to back. And then there's one nasty comment that really gets into me. And I'm like, why? Why am I doing this to myself? And then I just, delete them or get rid of
Mhm.
them so I don't get to see them.
Yeah, the negativity bias, it's a real thing for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Have you ever wanted to just give up on YouTube? And if so, what happened? And then how did you get back on track?
I haven't actually. Again, I said I started. I guess I started monetizing quite early.
Mhm.
I launched in 2019, and already by 2020, I was monetizing, and I think it's 2020. Yeah, I mean, my channel grew really fast, so I didn't really have a chance to think about quitting. I was lucky enough. I don't know if I would do it; would take a really long time. So I guess you really have to be very passionate about it and consistent to really strike it. I know this guy Ali Abdal. He's like a million
Oh,
something.
yeah. Yeah, I love his channel.
I love his channel. He's such an
Mhm.
interesting guy. I love watching his videos. And he said that I think it took him like 5 years or 4 years. He was doing good part time as well to
Mhm.
actually
He's a
start getting.
doctor.
He's a doctor, yeah, start
Mhm.
getting monetized. And I was like, wow, 5 years, I probably wouldn't have persevered. But I guess he was really passionate about it and he really made it work. And he has over a million subscribers and a lot of different businesses. So good for him. He could
Mhm.
be a good role model for those that are, there on YouTube for 2, 3 years and haven't been able to monetize. So
Yeah, I think he's great. He's got a great channel.
yeah, he
Um,
does.
mhm. And any video you're really excited about that just didn't do well on your channel?
Didn't do well. I guess I was really excited about Azerbaijani dance and Azerbaijani tea ceremony. It's usually a lot of the videos that are about my culture that I'm really passionate about, like extra passionate about, because I love our culture and I find it so interesting and exotic. And like the Azerbaijan dance is super feminine, so which is probably why I get a lot of this like feminine movements in my hands
Mhm.
when I talk. It comes from the dance I would do. So I really wanted people to see our dance and our tea ceremony and everything. But I think it's very niche topic, so not a
Mhm.
lot of people are really interested in that. I just really want those videos to really get more views.
Yeah. What is the biggest opportunity you got as a result of being on YouTube?
Biggest opportunity. I mean, I'm very picky and selective with who I work with. I have a lot of different offers from different kind of brands and everything. If I don't wear a brand myself, if I don't know the brand, if I haven't been using it or anything, I can't endorse it at all.
Mhm.
It's something I have chosen as my life thing that I wouldn't endorse anything that I don't practice or use myself. I've collaborated with Shortform, which is like a book summary platform, which is really interesting. I love like actually reading them too. I've collaborated with Skillshare, which I've been doing like watching their videos even prior to working with them. So these kind of platforms, really like educational ones that have approached me to work, I've agreed immediately because I've been using them. These kind of collaborations meant a lot to me because I've been a user and now I'm an endorser, which is great for me and it's
Yeah.
authentic to my message. But I have rejected a lot of collaborations, which were probably nice, but I just wasn't using them or wouldn't be using them.
Yeah. Yeah. What is your superpower that you think has led to your success on YouTube?
Superpower. I think, well, from what I gather in terms of feedback, I think it's my channel, or my videos are quite authentic in a way that I am being who I am. And I mean, a lot of people are being genuine over YouTube and everything. Of course, there's a lot of thought going in. I put on makeup. It's not like I wake up and I'm authentic self in terms of my looks or the setting. I do put a lot of thought into that. But in terms of who I am as a person and the message I'm carrying, the way, whatever I'm saying on YouTube, I'm actually living in life as well. It's not like I'm pretending to be someone or talking a certain way on YouTube and then at home, having a different voice or anything. I'm pretty much the same person on camera and off camera, except for the things that surround me, of course, and the way I look. I think that is something that people feel, that I'm really honest and genuine. And I also, I am not scared to say that I love reggaeton. And one of my, I did a fan meeting in Milan, and one of my fans, she told me that I loved that part when you said, you love reggaeton music, because for some reason, if someone is elegant, they're listening to reggaeton, it's like not possible. You have to be listening to Mozart and Beethoven. And I say, but that's not right. Like, that's not true. You could be different kind of person. Like, you could love, I don't know, playing soccer and still be elegant. One doesn't mean that you don't have to be the other person. Like, you could still be elegant by liking what you like and reading what you read. So I don't endorse a certain vision of elegance. Like, you have to look this way to be elegant, otherwise you're not. I say you can be whoever you want to be, because elegance is not just about how you look, it's about how you feel and how you carry yourself. So I think that's what a lot of people find attractive, that it's not a certain stigma or stereotype of elegance.
Yeah, it's like it's just a mindset.
Exactly.
And last question, what is your number one piece of advice you would tell somebody who's just starting off on YouTube?
Again, I would say quality over quantity. Always aim for good quality. Do it from your heart. Don't put a lot of research into that. If it comes with a lot of feedback, like, this is popular, I'll be doing this, doesn't mean your video is going to strike. At the time when I did the etiquette video, etiquette word wasn't actually even close to the top of the search words online. And based on recommendations, no one would tell you do an etiquette video, because no one is searching for the word etiquette online. People are searching for makeup or routine or skincare. But there's so many skincare routines that it's overcrowded. It doesn't mean your video is going to be noticed. So do something that even if skincare is something that you're passionate about, then your video is going to be successful. If it's something that you do because everyone does it and you want to kind of get the attention, not going to happen. Do what you feel at the moment is really something you really want to share with the world, and then it's going to get its attention.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Jamila, thank you so much for coming on to the show. It was so interesting hearing your experience. I think you're the first person I've interviewed that speaks 7 languages. So that's so cool. So if for everyone listening and watching, if they don't know where to find you, where can they find you?
They can find me on YouTube, which is with my eponymous channel, Jamila Musayeva. They can find me on Instagram, again, also Jamila Musayeva. And also I have a website where they can reach out to me, write an email, and get in touch with me. Also Jamila Musayeva.
Awesome.
Same brand, same name.
I'll have all the links in the description below. And for those of you guys watching here on YouTube, let us know what you thought of this interview, what your biggest takeaways were, anything Jamila said that really stuck out at you. We can't wait to read the comments.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Erika, for having me. It was lovely chatting with you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that interview and you learned a lot from it. Now, if you have a YouTube channel or considering starting a YouTube channel that you're serious about growing and you want the best of the best when it comes to personalized feedback, advice, and up-to-the-minute YouTube strategy, then consider my Zero to Influence YouTube Bootcamp for Women. I have been running this bootcamp since 2018, and we have hundreds upon hundreds of very successful students that have gone through the program. And I can go on and on about the YouTube Bootcamp, but I want you to hear it directly from some of the women themselves.
I feel so lucky that I got to do Erika's bootcamp.
Before I joined the bootcamp,
Before joining Erika's bootcamp,
my channel was all over the place. I didn't know what I was talking about.
I would hear people say that I need to find my why and my voice and my audience and understand my target audience, but I never felt like I really understood what that meant.
Erika helped me come up with YouTube video ideas. She helped me with consistency. She helped me to interpret my analytics.
I started with 12,000 subscribers and now I have over 50,000 and it is growing rapidly.
My channel has grown almost 100,000 subscribers.
I definitely wouldn't have gotten to this place in such a short amount of time without Erika's bootcamp.
What makes Erika special is that she has been talking to and analyzing YouTube channels for years, and that has given her this bank of knowledge to pull from.
I'm constantly asking her questions about YouTube. I'm asking her advice about my YouTube channel.
Taking the Zero to Influence YouTube Bootcamp was one of the best
decision I could have ever made for myself, for my channel, for my own personal growth as a human being. I could not be happier.
I love that it has reinvigorated me in such a beautiful way. So I am so happy that I've joined.
You're crazy not to hire her. Get on it. All right.